Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. This is Connor from Futures Analytica, bringing you guys another live futures trading session. We're going to start the day right now by switching it into regression mode. This is a pretty obvious choice. I hope you can see why. It's because we're inside of this very strong range and because of this decently high entropy. You can see that here by having low correlation between delta and price. You can see here at 652 and at, looks like we got filled very quickly there. We're just going to be arming it in both directions once again to queue up another order. But you can see there it is a long trade.
Target filled.
Starting the day with 385.74 for our win there. Once again, guys, today we are using a 16-tick stop loss with a 9-tick chase and a 14-tick profit target. This is continued from yesterday. We're keeping the same one just because we've been experiencing that lower volatility. Not sure exactly how the volatility has been today. You can see here we didn't really get that much movement at market open. So it's kind of nice that we're getting a range here to ease us into this though, because this is a very, very simple way to trade this. There is no other way to trade this other than being in regression mode. Hope you guys can understand how that decision we've made, especially with those automatically marked lines by the Analytica chart 4. Also, guys, if you're wondering when the next release of the strategy is going to come out, it's going to be on Friday. Currently, so it would be tomorrow. This is going to include the new on-the-fly optimization, on-the-fly training, where it's going to continuously learn based off of your trading decisions rather than just the indicator data. Pretty excited for this one. We've been working hard to make sure this is something that's going to significantly increase your performance, and I think we've succeeded in that. See here, if we get a strong breakout in the short direction here, we're definitely going to be switching it into trend mode.
Order filled.
There we go. We got filled short here. Very interesting. So if we get filled on this trade, we're going to switch into trend mode, which we did. We're switching into trend mode. This is going to confirm that we're likely to get a breakout in the short direction here.
Order filled.
Just got filled long in trend mode. Very interesting there. If we re-enter this range, we're definitely going to have to switch back into regression, but we're going to wait until we reach that second level there. Also, guys, feel free to ask questions in the Google form. Happy to answer them for you. See here, much better volatility today than we were getting yesterday. Yesterday, there was just literally no trades. We got one trade. Fortunately, it was a win, but just wasn't a very fun day to trade, very fun day to watch. You can see here, we're kind of continuing in a short direction right now. To answer your question, unfortunately, our software does not integrate into Quantower. We're only a NinjaTrader at the moment. We don't really have any concrete plans to switch into another platform at the moment, just because this is what I personally use, and I do want to deliver you guys a software that's identical to the one I'm using. Hey, CK Edwards. I'm sorry that happened. Can you confirm whether that appointment was with us or I think you're saying you got your PC updated, but regardless, if you don't have the programs anymore, I'm happy to send those over to you. Just shoot our support email, something, and we'll get back to you very, very quickly on that.
Order filled.
Just got filled long here. Obviously going to be rearming that inside of...
Target filled.
There we go. There's our target fill. We may actually have a regression mode switch here. We're going to wait for confirmation though. Yes, to answer your question of whether or not our software is allowed on prop firms like Apex Trader Funding, yes, it absolutely is. Our software is allowed on Apex Trader Funding. Apex Trader Funding's rules against automated trading softwares are specifically against fully automated programs to either do latency arbitrage or news arbitrage. This does neither. Not only is it considered semi-automated because there is user intervention to re-enable the strategy after arming it, it does not do latency arbitrage and it does not do news arbitrage, meaning it is allowed by those prop firms. Hey Mark, if your derived areas are not matching, make sure that you have mirrored my Analytica Chart 4 Plus settings in the description. Hey Evan, thanks for the question. Your question was, considering buying a Corvette, what model is yours and would you recommend it? I absolutely recommend it. It has been the best car I've ever owned, and it is insane value for the money. The driving experience is completely exotic, and it's a C8 Corvette. It's the Z51. It's not a Z06, but it's just the basic Z51 package on the Stingray. But it is absolutely incredible. One thing I do recommend is yes, getting the Z51, but also getting the 2LT package and getting Magneride dampers. Game changing, allows you to really turn it into a grand tourer while also retaining that extreme performance in the suspension with those Magneride dampers. The 2LT gives you the front lift package and a digital mirror, which is very, very helpful in the mid-engine car because you can't really get a lot of rear visibility. But yeah, it is just an absolutely incredible car, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's just crazy value for the money. Yeah, we're definitely going to be switching it into regression here, guys. A little bit late on that. That's my bad, but that is a pretty clear indicator that we're going to do that. It's just the formation of this very, very choppy zone with those adjacent bars. Our entropy is relatively low, though, so we do want to keep that in mind. However, it has retained a lower than the threshold that we're doing to keep it in regression mode. And yes, Srinidhi, you are correct. You were the one who pointed that out. I was just answering questions.
Order filled.
There we go. Finally just got into a short trade here. This is a regression confirmation trade, meaning that if this was a long trade, if we won that trade, we'd switch into trend. But because this is a short trade and our profit target is within the range, we're going to keep it in regression mode if we win.
Target filled.
There we go. 2,700 on the day. Also, guys, just to reiterate for anyone who joined late today, the next update is going to include incremental learning. So that's a pretty big update.
Order filled.
Looks like we just got filled long here.
Target filled.
And another win on the day. We haven't lost a trade today, which is very, very nice. Hey Joseph, your question was, you use polarity in a different way. only regression / different bars. It is overall significantly profitable, but I noticed in times of low volume such as holidays, it just does much better. Of course, that is not the same next week since you don't know the exact settings in a general sense. How would you adjust this into a period of more volatility and volume? I'm just trying different increases in min volume at the moment. Thanks. So right now with machine learning, you shouldn't actually have to touch the settings alone. But what I would suggest is instead of tuning the polarity parameters themselves, a simple change to your ATM strategy, increase your profit target and increase your stop loss during those periods of higher volatility, because that's really what's going to be affecting it significantly rather than the parameters to enter instead, because polarity should be optimizing that correctly. But yeah, I would just say start with just expanding your profit target and stop loss. Yes, absolutely. I actually have been doing a lot of work this week specifically on a trend and regression switch video. So it's going to be comprehensive education on exactly what you need to know to switch that, especially with now how it's become simplified after the machine learning update. It's less intensive. There is going to be a video on that one. So keep that in mind.
Order filled.
Looks like we just got filled short here.
Target filled.
There we go, pretty quickly filled there. Ron, your question was how fast in playback mode can you go and polarity function correctly? You can go up to 10x in playback and have no issues. I've gone faster, but I don't know about the stability with that. Hey Henry, thank you for the question. It was hey, what research have you done to be confident that the number of people, which I assume to be relatively high, using the system does not cause some kind of accidental market manipulation? Many people using the same settings, likely given that they are in the live stream description, would cause a large number of near simultaneous orders and therefore market disruption. No, thanks. Henry, this is an excellent question, and it is exactly why we released the machine learning update, along with other reasons, of course, but it is a very large factor in what makes it so great. So, we didn't have the settings in the description before the machine learning update because that is exactly what would happen. If people were to use the same settings as me, it would cause accidental market manipulation, and because I would assume my execution speed is the fastest out of the entire customer base, just because I have invested a significant amount of money into making my execution speed as low as possible, that could cause some issues with market manipulation. What would have happened was that I would have gotten filled into it, and then everyone else would have gotten filled into it after, which would have actually pushed my trade directly up or towards the profit target, which is kind of a big no-no when you think about liquidity and what the implications of that are. I basically would have been quote-unquote profiting from the customer's orders. So in order to ensure that doesn't happen, we have the machine learning update, which actually does give you a unique entry. It's very unlikely that you're going to get the same entries as someone else, especially once you have optimized it with the incremental learning update that's going to be coming out. As everyone will have a unique, finely tuned model for their own trading style. So it's going to be compensating for your mistakes, and it's going to be adapting to your wins. So it's going to mold itself to your strengths and weaknesses, essentially. But yeah, that's what we've been working really hard on, just to make sure that doesn't happen, because that is a very it's a very real problem. Here we're definitely going to be switching into trend mode directly. We do have that breakthrough out of this red zone here. We're in this green zone we're not going to be considering at all, just due to the age of it and the fact this is not an order flow derived green line.
Order filled. Target filled.
Hey, hedge fund trading. Thank you for the question. If you're asking if we can program a Python IPI that will function jointly with your bookmap and Polarity, we could potentially do that. I'd have to discuss with you exactly what your needs were, but I would assume that would cost about $2,500 in just labor. On my end, that's how much it would cost me to pay developers to develop that. So we would have to jointly talk about that, but that's the ballpark of what I would assume it would cost. And that would be likely more on the lower end. That's just for a joint integration with it and making sure you're actually getting it. But yeah. Hey Abhik, thanks for the question, saying, this works great in a live market, but I'm struggling with making it work with rhythmic data for prop firms. Any suggestions, please? Absolutely. So if you're using rhythmic data with a prop firm, you can actually connect to multiple data feeds at once. So I would suggest connecting to your initial data feed first and then connecting to the rhythmic at the same time. This will allow you to actually specifically be using a different data feed, even though you're still trading on that prop firm account. there, Creatine. To answer your first question, which was, I saw on your website a backtest graph. So do those settings keep changing by itself with ML? And can we do backtesting as well from limited time slots or specific time slots to trade every day? So the first part of that question is a little bit confusing, just because the backtest graph existing is not mutually exclusive with settings not changing. But the settings do adapt over time, and you just don't have to touch settings even though you used to have to. So for your second question, yes, you can absolutely backtest specific time slots or limited time slots to trade every day. You can absolutely do that. And your second question was also, as you said earlier, we all get different fell order as there's ML integrated into it from your response to another person's questions. Do I need to backtest this by myself, and for how long? You don't necessarily have to backtest it on its own. It's not really part of the user setup. I would suggest trading it on Sim and training the model just by clicking the train the model button with your own data, and then doing the incremental learning, just enabling that when you're in optimized mode. Of course, I don't suggest that you jump right into it by going live. That's never the intention. You definitely want to get familiar with the software before that.
Order filled.
Looks like we just got filled long here.
Target filled.
Guys, not a single trade loss today. That is absolutely incredible. Guys, I think we're close enough to our profit target at this point. Probably going to call it for the day at $4,500. Very, very solid trading session today, guys. Really appreciate you guys joining today, and thanks for tuning in, especially from the follow-up from yesterday's stream, which was kind of lame. But I do appreciate you guys' support, and I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. Also, we do have that Polarity update coming out tomorrow. It's going to include incremental learning along with some other fixes and features, which will, of course, be described in the YouTube post as well as the email sending it out. It will be in the exact same Dropbox link that you sent out. So in case you lose the link, you can always find the latest update there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.